What's up, y'all? It's Dr. Paul with Liberty Hill Comics. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, comic book aficionados of all ages, please join me in welcoming my esteemed co-hosts, the Golden Age aficionados. What's up?
Hey, guys.
What's up?
Hey.
Everybody's in good spirits, and most of us are some of us are in new digs. Where should I start?
I'm on the road, actually. So.
Yeah. Captain Larry's joining us from a hotel. Probably he's been shanghaied.
I am in Miami, and I was supposed to be flying a flight tonight, and it got delayed 18 hours. So here I am joining you.
Yay!
So.
And Shelby's in his new digs up in the Dallas area.
Excellent.
You're in
Dallas now, Shel? That's great, man.
Unknown location in North Dallas. Might be a little echoey because I just moved into a house that's built in 1954 that has all hardwood floors.
Wow.
And so I need to get a carpet in here.
Yeah, say throw a rug.
Yeah. So it's pretty echoey. But, get the bedroom set up first and then the conservation room. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure by the time you throw all of your stuff up on the walls, there will be a lot of noise deadening activities. So it'll sound better.
Yeah, I'm looking around. I did the Batman poster there just to add a little something. Plus our book, and that's a Mickey Mouse radio that I bought yesterday from a lady as a present to myself for moving into the new house.
Nice.
So a couple of my neighbors took up a little fund and gave me some money when I was moving out, and so I spent it on a vintage Mickey Mouse radio that still works.
Nice.
Excellent.
That's terrific.
And my buddy Bill Field is rejoining us from
Peace, folks.
From
it's
this
like from a garage.
From the comics garage of Billy Field, yes. In sunny San Antonio.
Nice.
Oh, we got all the Texans here tonight.
Amen, brother. Amen.
From all across the state, I'm coming to you as per usual from an undisclosed location in the Hill Country, and I'm excited about this show. We have a fun one. This one was inspired by one of our viewers who said, do a deep dive on those Fox books, and boy, did we. And there's so much fun stuff to talk about.
I learned so much.
Yeah, so we're going to have a show in more or less two parts. Shelby's going to give us a background history type kind of walkthrough, and then I'm going to do some auction results with some really fun reveals and connections that I kind of just went into deep dive mode on some of this stuff. And then I'm going to do a few show offs. I don't know if anybody else has Fox books, but if you got Fox books, bring them out. And not in Miami, huh?
Not Miami.
So we got a lot of show, so we're going to get going here. And again, thank you for joining us. Thank you to my esteemed co-hosts, who I love to see every week. Phil's doing fine. He's just catching up on some stuff, and we had a full house, so we told him, "Hey, man, we'll see you next week."
Take the night off.
Yeah.
Take the night off.
So speaking of our fine viewers, I want to say thank you to the sponsors of this show: Jim Colajay, Collecting Chaos, Don Carter, Gorilla Monkey 3K, and You Pluck My Last Comics. Thank you so much.
Says, I'm looking fresh.
Y'all are supporting us week in, week out, and keeping this show ad-free if you're watching it live. So if you're watching it live, you're not interrupted by ads. It's thanks to those gentlemen. So please do give them a shout out and show them your appreciation. We appreciate it so much. Offsets our costs. And allows us to bring you more. So thank you. And speaking of, we have already for tonight 2 super chats. Thank you guys. Let's
Thank
say
you, guys.
hi in order here. We got GW Edits again. Never owned any of the early Foxes, but did complete the Phantom Lady run back in '78. Wow.
Ooh,
Wow.
Hopefully you
nice.
still have them. Collecting Chaos is here. Howdy. Shelby's here, of course. Aubrey's here. Welcome, Aubrey, and howdy. Jim Collegier with the super chat. Starting off sponsorship for next week. Thank you so much, Jim. Check out in our Facebook group Jim's post about his Home Depot, Amazon vacuum table for leaf casting. I'm looking forward to following the progress there. You plugged my last comment, keeping it coming in terms of the super chats, and says Shelby's looking fresh. You know, I'll say something about Shelby. He's got good hygiene. If you meet him in Hugger, you can give him.
I took a shower today and put
He
on
never
some
smells
underwear.
bad. He
You
never
No.
smell
smells bad.
pretty.
You can give him a hug. He's gonna smell good. He's gonna be clean. So he is keeping it fresh.
He's Louisiana gold standard. Let's just be honest here.
Right. May not be a high bar, but I'll give it to him.
Probably
Gorilla
not,
Monkey
but
3K is here.
My dad was Louisianan. Sorry.
The professor's here. Welcome. Collecting Chaos is here. 4-Color Flophouse is here. Yahoo McLovsky's here. Welcome, Mike. Yes, actually, Shelby's renting a house for what it's worth. Not an apartment, but yeah, he's in a new location. All right. Well, again, thank you for joining us. Glad to have all of or many of our regulars here, and I think we should just get started. I mean, the fun is
Sure.
in the kibitzing and the interaction here. So let's throw something up to get talking about. And
Okay.
Jason's here too. Welcome, Jason. Glad to have you. So, Fox,
All right. So
cool stuff.
You know, I learned so much. You know, you and I talked earlier today, and we were sharing a little bit of our stories about a lot of things we did not know about Fox Comics. You know, here on the first slide is a couple of their comics from the late 40s, early 50s, right about the time they folded. Superheroes had waned and moved out, and Jungle Books and crime stories. And I'm showing these because I'm not going to discuss them anymore in this presentation. I'm only going to focus on the meat and potatoes, which is the superhero books.
Awesome. Hey, Don, welcome to the show.
Oh, let's get into some history, man.
I'm all for that.
All right. Victor Fox, born Samuel Victor Joseph Fox. So important, he had 4 names. And July 3rd of 1893. That is cray. In Nottinghamshire, England. And his
Okay, we're
family-
gonna try that again.
Nottinghamshire. Hampshire.
Nottinghamshire. Nottinghamshire.
Nottinghamshire.
Nottinghamshire.
Nottinghamshire.
And
Okay.
only shire I know about is where hobbits live.
It's
Anyway,
like Worcestershire. You know.
Sorry.
but in
Who's picking on you,
1898,
Shelby?
they came to Massachusetts. So just like
Wait. I have a story to tell here too. There's the interruptions are coming fast and furious, but anybody want to guess how you say the name of this place in Massachusetts? This is right across the river from Rhode Island, where I worked for about 2 years right after I finished my PhD. Anyone?
Are you talking about Fall River?
Okay, that's how you or I would say it.
Paul
Okay.
River.
How
Paul
do they
River.
say it?
Paul River.
It's Fariv.
Oh, mother
What?
bleeper.
I
can't
swear to you.
believe
I swear to
that.
you. It's Fariv.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
I believe you.
It
Paris.
sounds like
Oh, that's a
more-
great name.
We're going to shut up now, Shelby. Please carry on.
Not for long.
All right. So I think we talked about in one of our previous presentations about people starting companies here at the beginning of the golden age that actually had no background in comics or pulps, as it were. Pulps was the predecessors to comics. According to history, and I found a couple of things that disputed this, but this is the story I like, is Fox was an accountant for DC Comics. He saw the figures coming in for Action Comics with Superman, and he decided he's going to get into the game and created his own publication company. So he launched Fox Publications, sometimes known as Bruns Publication, and he leased an office space in the same building as DC. So kind of funny.
High
Yeah.
aspirations.
And you actually find this as a running theme with Fox Comics is they didn't really innovate as much as they
Imitated. Yeah.
Other companies. Come on, chat. Come say hi to everybody. Go ahead. When I pause, that means move. All right. So Paul and I were talking about this earlier, and I found this to be really funny. So their first publication came out in 1939, Wonder Comics, introducing Wonder Man, and is created by Will Eisner, who was a great friend for many years when he was alive. But they also got their first lawsuit. And quickly they had to cease and desist publishing Wonder Man. So this is the only comic that he appeared in. And then Wonder Comics only lasted 2 issues. And due to that, Fox dropped Eisner and Iger from their staff, and they went on to form their own art studio. And then Joe Simon actually was the editor after that. And then they changed Wonder Comics to Wonder World Comics and introduced the Flame.
By the way, those of you that know, we reference this often. 40 color plates. 2 of them are Fox. I'll talk about them later. A few black and white plates.
There it is. Wonder Comics.
One of them's right there. How did I flip to that? That was amazing. You ready for the next slide? You paused.
Yeah, of course. So this is the bulk of which we'll be covering with Fox Comics from 1939, 1944. They launched several titles in rapid succession. Mystery Men Comics, which we'll get into the people that the characters that are important for that, Wonder World Comics, and then Fantastic Comics, all in August, October, and December of 1939. By then, 1931, they had 9 monthly titles on the stands at once. Of course, their big character that we still know today is Blue Beetle. He was in the comic books. He got his own comic, and he was even in a newspaper strip for a while. And I did not know this, but the newspaper strip was drawn by Jack Kirby.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he also had a radio show. Did you already mention that?
I did not mention the radio show. But there was even supposed to be a film serial, but that fell through.
Right. But that had a lot to do with the timing with Fox Comics, which wasn't long-lived. Let's be honest. But yeah.
Yeah, but I do mention here radio serial, and even during the 1939 World's Fair, they had the Blue Beetle Day.
That's awesome.
Where they had relay races and broadcast on WMCA.
Nice.
So I already mentioned the serial film that fell through in 1941. In 1942, the first of 2 bankruptcies hits Fox Comics. An involuntary bankruptcy where he owed I believe a printer $175,000. They take over Fox Publications, but eventually Fox, Victor Fox, does regain the company in 1944. And during that time period, Blue Beetle was still being published because it's the most popular one, But starting with issue 31 is where you see Fox Publications starting back over with that. So you have about a 2-year time period there where Victor Fox was not in control of the company. So you may see some different things going on during that time. I've already mentioned this at the beginning, but post-war, they pivoted away from superheroes, went to crime, horror, westerns, romances, jungle books. And then, of course, the end of Fox, so to speak, happened with a second bankruptcy in July of 1950, where they owed a lot of money, almost $1 million in uncollected receivables from Central Color Press. And also, there was getting a lot of pressure from the Comics Code at that time. So similar to like Fawcett, they just decided to go ahead and fold up. And but the one thing that was actually worth something was Blue Beetle, and it was sold to Charlton, and of course, eventually sold to DC. And Victor Fox died, unless this is a typo on my part, he died the same day that he was born, July 3rd, but in 1957.
Wow.
Died on his birthday.
Crazy.
It
Happy
happens.
birthday to you. Sorry.
Died on choking
So
on
here on the side is
birthday cake.
Wonder Comics #2, which was only 2 Wonder Comics ever published. And
Yeah,
Yarko the Great fighting some kind of big gorilla. Big monkey. All right. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of money, 1950. I didn't figure it out. So here's what the rest of the presentation is really going to consist of, is these main characters. So I've already mentioned Wonder Man. We're kind of done with that. The next is going to be The Flame, which premiered in Wonder World Comics #3. It just continued the same numbering from Wonder Comics. Mystery Men Comics, which of course is the appearance of Blue Beetle. Then we have Green Mask and Dexter of Mars premiering in the same issue of Mystery Men Comics #1.
Yeah.
So you have 3 big characters that showed up all at the same time. And then
That's their main. The Mystery Men Comics is their main anthology. This would be like Flash Comics or Adventure or even Action One.
Correct. And if I'm not mistaken, Blue Beetle and Green Mask run the whole series of Mystery Men Comics. Dexter only ran, I think, 15 issues, and I could have that reversed on Green Mask and Dexter. So forgive me.
But Dexter was a huge hit, wasn't it?
Say it again.
Shelby? Dexter was a huge hit for at least a short period of time because
It was.
Fox was really getting good results from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Fantastic Comics #1, which Stardust and Samson. And I think Paul's going to talk a little bit more about Samson. I'm going to gloss over it a bit. 1940, you had Dynamo and the Eagle premiere in Science Comics #1. And then we've already mentioned, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but Phantom Lady, which is not actually a Fox creation, and we'll discuss that little point.
What are you showing off, Paul?
I don't know if you.
Look at that.
That's a book you were just talking about.
That is.
That's Fantastic Comics
Oh my God.
Uno.
Dude, you bastard. That's beautiful.
in a 5.5.
Oh my God. That's great for that. Oh my God. Hey, show that a little bit
Crazy.
longer.
I'm gonna show it off.
TFT.
I'm gonna show it off in more detail when we
Okay.
when I talk
okay,
about
I'm good
auction
with that.
results.
Sorry, I don't mean to be a minge, but
Yeah.
But-
I'm speeding along because this is I have a little bit more slides than I normally have. So and then if anybody who's not talking, if anything pops up in the chat that's us worth talking about, please cut me off. Go ahead, Paul.
Will do.
All right. Do you have a favorite Fox syndicator? I don't, because I didn't know. I did know Samson. And I'll be honest, I guess the Eagle, maybe. I don't know.
Bill, you got to have
These things
one.
are so rare.
I have two.
All right.
I have Stardust for obvious reasons because Stardust is just the funkiest character ever by one of the craziest creators in comics, which he wasn't even in comics that long. And then, of course, Phantom Lady, who was graced by the artwork of people such as Matt Baker. And to be honest, she also got sold to DC. It wasn't just Blue Beetle.
But she went via a different path. She was actually owned by Quality, and she didn't go.
Yeah, exactly. And she got, yes, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry, I totally screwed up there. You're absolutely right, Paul.
While we're speaking about her and properties that ended up with DC instead of in the public domain, here's another show off. There's the Red
beautiful.
Bee. The Red Bee ended up at DC with her.
So
in that same transaction.
When did DC use Red Bee?
You know what? Only once. Our buddy Roy Thomas used him in All Star and killed him off.
Oh, that mother bleeper!
Right?
God.
Yeah, but they did.
I'm not a big Roy fan, but that's just me.
They acquired.
Sorry, I say that, and then I had a lead story in Alter Ego last year, which is his.
I know you did. I know you did.
But I got in trouble because I brought up the fact that I didn't think, because he was editor, that I thought that he should get credit for Wolverine, and he got really upset. And through Alex Grand, he said, I'm giving you guys this great opportunity, and Bill's killing it. And it's like, here's the thing. I kind of feel like we're supposed to say the truth, especially when we're comic historians. You know, Shelby, I think you understand this. I kind of feel we have to speak up when we think something's not quite right. And to be fair, for years, editors were not allowed creator rights. And to be fair, Dave Cockrum brought the character Wolverine to Roy's attention 2 years before the character was created. So if anybody deserves credit, and he's gone now, but it would be Dave Cockrum. And you know what? I feel bad because I didn't mean to piss off Roy by any means, but sometimes you got to say what's true.
Speak your mind. You got to speak your truth, whatever that is.
Exactly.
Right? And at the end of the day, these are opinions, right? I mean, you're just voicing an opinion.
Exactly.
It's funny you say that you're not necessarily a big fan of Roy Thomas. What's interesting, and I guess this is the Golden Age show, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but Roy Thomas is literally my favorite Silver Age writer. His run on Avengers after Stan walked away from the book is with Big John Buscema penciling is literally my favorite Silver Age Marvel book. But I just finished reading, and this is why I know exactly where Red Bee was in All-Star Squadron. I just finished reading All-Star Squadron, and it was a slog to get through. And I was thinking, how is this the same person that wrote some of my favorite comics ever? And so, not every book is for every person, and you can say I like this, part of this person's career. And
well, and I'm going to be fair with.
I really didn't enjoy other parts of it. It's fine.
No,
right?
And I get that. But the thing is I want to be clear. I love Roy Thomas's work. I'm just not crazy that he would ask for creation rights because he said, "Oh, I'm not getting any money out of it." No, you get money out of it because you're able to use it as a catalyst to get put in different shows and stuff. So it's not a moneyless transaction.
Yeah,
it's pardon my French.
Let's get back on topic here. So you've said your two favorite. No, it's okay. You said your two. This is the show, by the way, people. Larry, did you want to drop a favorite?
I don't really have a favorite other than Phantom Lady and of course Matt Baker work. Sure. I do have some hit comics and some Wonder World comics that I've worked on the conservation field.
Yeah.
I've got a number 3 actually sitting on the floor. That's a 2.5 that needs to be cracked and cleaned. So I'm still there.
What do you think you can get the
I'll-
2.5 up to?
I'd have to look at it, but it's dirty. I can't remember the actual report on it because it's been sitting on my work table for probably almost a year. I'm buried in work right now. Right now, I'm working on that Tales of Suspense 39 and
No.
trying to manage, doing my normal job.
How's that going? The
Which one?
39.
Which one? My normal job.
The 39.
It's going good actually. Kenny Sanderson's going to leaf cast the cover, and I'm doing the interior. And
Awesome.
I've already started leaf casting the rest has been removed, and I'm leaf casting the interior pages. So
That's amazing.
So
It's gonna be nice.
So cool.
I'm gonna do a little detour here in terms of who my favorite Fox character is, and I'm just gonna say whoever Lou Fine was drawing.
Wow.
I mean, Lou Fine was so insane. I'm gonna show some covers later, but he was so insanely talented that whatever character he was illustrating on the cover is my favorite. He had some insane Mystery Men covers with Blue Beetle that will make you just think Blue Beetle is the coolest hero of all time. It's got at least one insane Samsung cover, and the covers for Science. It had so many great covers.
Oh.
So I'm just a big fan. As Shelby mentioned, the interior of these books is not quite at the same level as like the DC books. So a lot of these books you're buying for the scarcity, you're buying them for the cover. I will put up Lou Fine's body of work and his covers for Fox against anything any publisher was doing in the Golden Age, and it is, I think for me and for many, those covers are where the interest is in the early Fox stuff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, Lou Fine, L.B. Cole, Schomburg. I mean, some of the artwork that these artists do, they're so unique. You can spot one from across the room because because of the style of the art.
Right.
and Jason pointed out that Hit Comics is from Quality, and I know that. I was just I was showing off a Lou Fine cover, and what the Quality has in common here is that some of them were published by Fox, and then they weren't intellectual property there. But then eventually the Quality books also ended up at DC, in addition to Blue Beetle, who ended up at DC through a completely different legal path. So Blue Beetle is the only Fox character that ended up at DC through that pathway. The other
How did
characters
Phantom Lady make it, Paul?
Phantom. So I think you're going to talk about it, Shelby.
I'm going to mention the owner of Phantom Lady, and I'm assuming
we're going to cover that in a little bit.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to get ahead of ourselves.
No, that's okay.
All right, so the first I'm going to talk about is The Flame, who premiered in Wonder World Comics #3, and then Wonder World ran for 33 issues, and I think that's probably the longest running title they had. Excuse me. There at Fox, but just like any origin story, it begins with a father that was doing missionary work in China. A flood swept him away, grabbed his baby in a basket, and was washed up in Tibet and taken by Buddhist monks. It happens every day. They raised him as their own, trained him in mystical disciplines, physical perfection, advanced knowledge, and above all, control over fire and body temperature. And then once he grew up, he returned to the West as the Flame to use his powers against crime. I too was raised by Tibetan monks. Not really. But anyway.
And you know who else was healed by Tibetan monks? What famous Quality character? I know you guys know this.
Quality character. I do not know this. I thought you were going to say Danny Rand.
Yeah, I was going
No.
to. Yeah, I thought you was going to Iron
Plastic-
Man.
Plastic
Doctor
Man.
Strange.
Plastic Man.
Oh, Plaz.
Plaz.
Really?
Yes, he ran into Tibetan monks, and they gave him this cure that enabled him to come back from his gunshot wounds, and he
Another
became Plastic Man.
another intellectual property that ended up at DC via their purchase of Quality eventually.
And one more Tibetan monk story. What other character who was both a Fawcett character and a pulp character relied on that?
Chat, help us out here. Bill's quizzing us, and
Come on, guys.
he's exposing our ignorance. Chat,
And
come
wouldn't
on.
be, wouldn't,
Come on.
wouldn't be Doc Savage.
Mane Pade is the biggest clue I can give you guys.
That's how you're supposed to say it, though.
Mane Pade Okay, I can do that. So it's the Green Llama, aka Jethro. So I just wanted you guys to know that.
I
I
should've
was
gotten
just
that
looking
one.
at the.
Actually, I
I was looking
should've
at the
gotten
Green
that
Llama tonight. Actually,
Yeah.
there's one in the
Is that
Heritage
not
auction.
a beautiful book by Mac Raboy? I mean, what a great
Yeah.
artist! And
Yeah.
he did that book, and of course, he did his most famous book would probably be Captain Marvel Jr.
Yeah.
And
Which was
then-
in Master Comics, though,
Right? No, and also Captain Marvel Jr.
the title.
The title, yeah.
Yeah.
But he went on to do what when a major comic strip artist died in a horrible accident, he took over Flash Gordon, and
Really?
he did Flash Gordon from the death of Alex Raymond to, I believe, 1967 or 69,
Wow.
and that was because he died.
Those are big
So,
shoes
and then
to
Al
fill.
Williamson took over.
Mhm.
And I'm done. Sorry, I don't
No,
mean
no,
to
that's-
take over, but I just know a
This
lot
is the
about
show,
this period.
people. This is the
Yeah.
show. This is what
Yeah.
you tuned in for.
But Shelby
Um,
has a lot of slides, guys.
No,
let's
no,
get
no,
back
it's
to
okay.
it.
Sorry,
He knows.
Shelby. I didn't mean
No,
to,
no,
I didn't
no.
mean to hold you back.
No, you're fine.
Thank you, Collecting Chaos. Appreciate the super chat. KK says, I've always found it so interesting. So many comic heroes are orphans. Yeah. You need tragedy to reach to the heights that many
Yeah,
of these
to be
fellows
that-
did.
To be that ignition. All right. So you'll actually see this is a running theme with several of Fox characters. When the Flame first premiered, he just had a flame gun and flame teleportation, which I have no idea what that means. But he had no backstory. It wasn't until issue 11 that he actually got the origin story that I just discussed. And conveniently, that was right after the Human Torch debuted over at Timely. And a lot of people would say that Flame is just a Torch knockoff, but his appearance actually predates the Torch by about 3 months. Although he wasn't fully powered yet, it wasn't until after the Human Torch premiered that then the origin changed and he was given much larger flame powers.
Lou Fine covers, though. I got another insane flame cover. Well, you can see it here. Wonderworld 7.
Entire run, and this is one of the things I was talking to Paul about earlier. Is whenever I was pulling these off of the Grand Comics database and adding them to the slideshow, I don't think I've seen maybe but one, if that, and I may be misremembering, in the wild seeing any of these books, on the back of a dealer's shelf or anything. I mean, you just do not see them.
There is
It's a
rare as hen's
rarity.
teeth.
No,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
The entire run is so tough to find any of them. And
I've got 2 of them, and that's it.
yeah,
they
What
were
do you
not
have,
found in the
Captain
wild.
Larry?
that's more than I got.
I've got number 3 and number 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Those are, oh,
Great covers.
darn. Those are like the best ones to have, basically, or some of the
Yeah,
best.
Some of the
I
best
did
ones.
a conservation job on the number 9. I still have it. It was a 2.5, and then I finished it. It was a 4 when it was done. So
That's great.
Very nice.
That's
yeah.
amazing. That's a good escalation.
Number 7, you're going to see again in the auction reports. Number 13 is another standout, though. but there's so many great covers there.
Oh yeah.
Jason
All right.
has Jason says he has Flame 30. That's his self-titled, but he also has he has Wonderworld 30.
Did Flame have his own title?
I don't think so. I think
I
I
don't
haven't
believe so.
either.
No.
He did
That
not.
would have been awesome.
I'll mention
Yeah.
if they get their own title.
Yeah.
So the Blue Beetle. So there's going to be 3 characters in a row that all premiered in Mystery Men Comics #1, which only had a run of 31 issues. And there's several different Blue Beetles. Of course, the first one is Dan Garrett. He was a rookie NYPD patrolman. He had no costume, no powers, just a cop story. But by issue 2, he's bulletproof in a blue costume, and Fox adds the formula Vitamin 2X that boosts his strength and endurance.
Yeah, baby.
He had his own syndicated newspaper strip that started in January of 1940, the early ones drawn by Jack Kirby under the name Charles Nichols.
Wow.
Vitamin
What a
2X
pedigree.
sounds like Miraclo.
Well, there's another vitamin. I know we're going to talk about Vita Rays later, I think, but
That was
there's
Iron Man.
Was it?
It was
Yeah,
later on.
Oh,
it was
Vita
Vita
Rays. Yeah, in the movie and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But our man pops a pill. Our man pops a Miraclo pill. That's
And
what gives
you
him
know
the,
who else
the
popped a
strength
pill?
for.
Sorry,
I don't know, Bill. Are you going to tell us?
I'm going to tell you. It's Underdog.
Underdog. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Not-
there's one
Well-
more. Roger Ramjet. He took a
He-
pill that gave him the power of 20 atom bombs in 20 seconds. And they were both ridiculous heroes, but they both
I mean,
were pill poppers to get their powers. So
Underdog had to, man. How else was he going to overcome Overcat?
exactly. And Overcat was the best. I mean, how could you not have an Overcat if you have an Underdog? I'm just telling you. But hey,
The stories write themselves.
they do.
So it is on my bucket list to find a Underdog #1. I do have the Ramjet first appearance.
And in what?
Who knows, man? That's in a warehouse somewhere,
But-
dude.
But he was in a comic book. Roger Ramjet. I didn't realize there was a comic.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else then.
Okay. I'm
That's-
yeah. Because I think I would know
You're
it.
talking
But
about,
I'm
yeah,
not
the
saying
cost-
I know
yeah,
everything.
You're talking about
because
the
I
show.
evidently do not. But yeah.
All right. We'll
Can we-
talk comics on this show, dude.
Sorry.
Four Color Flophouse has this question that I wonder if anybody has any comments on. He says, I wonder if the term Mystery Men was used prior to the comic book. I think probably, but maybe not.
I don't know. I know
one
it's been
thing-
used a lot afterwards. There was even the movie that was done by what's his name that did Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm not sure about that. I will say,
Yeah, I'm not either. But,
No,
but
James Gunn.
Bob Burden is the one who came up with the Mystery Man that we all know and love. And and Bob's a friend of mine, so I can say this. Bob absolutely loves the Fox stuff and used to own almost a complete collection, if not a complete collection. So a lot of his love for the name came from the actual comics. And Bob is just he's a great guy. I wish you guys knew him. He's just a great guy, and we're going to be hanging out in San Diego in a couple weeks. Not to name
Nice.
drop, but I'll stand back again. Sorry.
I'll say this again. Roy Thomas wrote All-Star Squadron in the 80s, but
Yes.
it was set in Earth 2 during,
World War II.
basically, just prior to and right up to
Right.
the lead-in of America being involved. So it was written more or less in between the pages of the early issues of All-Star Comics. And
Right.
he uses a lot. He did a lot of research, and his wife, Danny, did a lot of research to nail down language and terminology that was in use at the time. And he uses mystery men a lot to refer to all of the heroes of the era. So it reads like that was something that was being used at the time, contemporaneous language, but that's just my inference from his writing. I don't know.
Right. Actually, Bob Burden's Mystery Men just predates that by like maybe 17 months.
Mm-hmm.
Because it came out in the early 80s, right before he went with that title.
All-Star Squadron is maybe like 82 it launches, I want to say.
Right. And he was right before that, and he mentioned the Mystery Men before. Not that, I mean, I don't think Roy stole that. I really don't. But they're so close that you can't give one credit over the other, I think. That's just my own opinion, and it doesn't matter amount to much. So,
go ahead, Chubb.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I just want to kind of run down some of the important issues here. So we already talked about Mystery Men #1, but the highest graded example is the Allentown pedigree at 9.2.
I'm going to show that later.
Wow.
Yeah, sold for, I think, way too little. Then Blue Beetle #1 premiered in winter of 1939-1940. Issue 12 is the last Fox issue because of the bankruptcy. And during the time in which Holyoke runs the title, they introduced the sidekick Sparky. Fox regains the character and resumes the numbering at number 31. And then I found this interesting. Charlton owned the Blue Beetle, but when they try to reboot the Blue Beetle in Charlton, it didn't do as well. And in Captain Atom number 83, the Charlton book, Steve Ditko writes a backup story introducing the new Blue Beetle, Ted Cord.
Yeah. I have this issue, and
I do too.
it was reprinted. It was reprinted in like so that's a 12-cent issue. It was reprinted in the 35-cent era under the modern comics.
The modern imprint they did for Charlton in 76, 77.
And I enjoyed these books. I enjoyed the Ditko Blue Beetle. It was fun. It felt like of a different era, and obviously this.
You can go to the next slide and keep talking because it's just going to show the covers.
Yeah. And the relaunch of the Blue Beetle there in the Silver Age, it mirrors almost exactly the formula over at DC under the direction of our buddy that was always always being original. But Julius Schwartz, that is. But the it's the exact same formula, right? It's a Golden Age hero, and then you relaunch him with the same basic concept, but a different name, and now it's a more sci-fi related or directed. And but it was well done. It was well done. Here we see the covers for Mystery Men, and again, you're going to see the first dozen or so by Lou Fine. And issue number 8 is a big standout, but issue number 3 has also a big auction result that we'll talk about later. And these are just cover driven because, again, the stories, the interior, Lou Fine did covers only. Well, as far as I know, I have not seen any interiors by Lou Fine. But the level of art on the inside, definitely serviceable for the Golden Age. And I wouldn't say, I don't know, for me, it's better than like, for example, the Neater interiors. But it's not quite at the same level as the DC stuff. And certainly, people, again, they're buying them for the covers.
Well, to be fair, I do think that there are some issues that are, at least the stories by themselves, are as good as DC, but it is few and far between. But you know, they had a lot of crossover with their creators at the time.
Mhm.
So you're going to get some really great stuff. And most of that stuff does come from the people that were also working at DC.
True. Yep. Yeah.
All right. So also premiering in Mystery Men Comics #1 is The Green Mask. Michael Shelby, he's a pure pulp style vigilante. No powers, no gadgets, just a gun and nerve. And his identity is concealed even from the readers and is only known by News Blake, who can contact him. It doesn't until this issue here, Green Mask #1, that it's revealed that the Green Mask has been Michael Shelby, and they change his origin story to a wealthy private investigator whose senator father is assassinated by a secret society called the Grim Circle. And the Grim Circle will run through the entire Green Mask series.
Cool.
So Shelby himself is critically wounded, and a friend's experimental Vita Ray machine, probably the same one used on Captain
Tony Stark.
America,
Possibly.
saves his life while granting him super strength and flight. And in that issue, he takes on a sidekick, Domino the Miracle Boy, and sets out to bring down the Grim Circle.
You know how you do.
Yeah, I want a Domino the Miracle Boy.
Give a hero a sidekick and kill the comic. I'm
Yep.
sorry, Doiby Dickles. Come on, you know?
Or Woozy Winks, for that matter. You
Hmm.
know. Hey, Clarence! You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the first series of the Green Mask, even though he looks blue, but he wears only a green mask, ran 11 issues. Then there was the bankruptcy. Then when because when bankruptcy happened, they killed the title, and then whenever they got him back, they relaunched him, and it lasted another 6 issues.
Yeah.
And who has the rights to Green Mask now? Do we know?
It's in public
domain.
domain, as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
once it goes to public
You can
domain,
go,
anybody
you
can
can
do
go
it.
reboot them.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
anybody's guess, right? Right, Captain Larry? Yeah.
Yeah,
Aubrey, we're
yeah.
gonna
Once
get
it goes
we're
into
gonna get
public
to
domain, anybody can use the character.
Yeah.
we're gonna get to the highlights in the auction results, Aubrey. But I'm with you.
Rex Dexter was the other big name that premiered in Mystery Men Comics, written and drawn by Dick Briefer. And I want this #1.
It's pretty sweet.
Oh my God, it is sweet.
Mhm.
But the origin ties directly to the real 1939 World's Fair, in which scientists Montague and Elena Dexter launch a rocket to Mars as a fair exhibit, crash lands, and raises their son Rex on the planet before it returns to Earth as an adult adventurer relying on ray guns and gadgetries. I need to write things I can pronounce.
My writing ability exceeds my pronunciation.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Also, my dentures aren't glued in. Anyway, but he's actually folded into the Blue Beetle and a lot of merchandising and stuff. I mean, he was a really popular character for a brief second there.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Dick Briefer.
And he did have a really short-lived newspaper strip, but I mean, it was a really hot second. And then the Rex Dexter of Mars, of course, giving a new origin, along with doing reprints. And a lot of what they did, so they did that even with the Green Mask and such. Once they got their own title, they did new stories, usually changed the origin, but then they reprinted the older stories that were in their previous book. So, for example, Mystery Men. So when Rex Dexter came out and Green Mask, It was a new story along with a reprint of the older story.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sure.
Go ahead.
And you know what?
You can keep
Dick
talking. The next slide is going to be covers. So keep talking.
You know what Dick? You know what Dick Briefer is best known for, right?
I feel like this is going to be a staying power joke coming up.
No. That would be Dick Sprang. But no. In this case, it's Frankenstein. Dick Briefer is the one who made a character that was both the horror character rather, and a comic character at the same time. They shared different issues. They were never in the same issue at the same time, but they were both drawn kind of the same way. The nose was above the eyes, which I always thought was not comfortable. But but he created a lot of toys for kids, and he did a popular thing that my sister owned called Showboat, where you had all these different characters and you could put the standees in and sing songs with them, and so it was really weird. But that was all Dick Briefer. He was kind of a Renaissance man in toys and comics. So
yeah. Full color Flaphouse got it.
I did have that Frankenstein in the slides to begin with, but when I was cutting down the slides, I actually took it out. So
sorry, I didn't mean to add to your presentation.
No. I took it out.
I know.
You brought it up.
I'm kidding you.
That's the reason why I actually, and I didn't change it in this sentence. That's the reason why I brought him up. Normally, if I have it there, then I'm going to tell you some story about him.
He's amazing.
But that story is missing because I was cutting down the slides. So
and he did a lot more than that too, but we don't have time for that tonight. But he was an amazing creator.
So this is the only issue of Rex.
I think
Dexter.
it is the number one.
Jason, check out the Archivist Adrift channel because he's got 2 copies of this. One's incomplete and he's doing a marriage on it. So that'll be pretty cool to watch.
All right. So never got a cover, which is sad. So that's why I'm showing an interior page here. Yep. But Stardust, the Super Wizard, he's the only Fox character that was written, drawn, and lettered entirely by one person, Fletcher Hanks. Yep. He genuinely has no origin. He's simply an alien with vast knowledge of interplanetary science that makes him the most remarkable man that ever lived, that was then taken over by Paul. But he arrives to fight crime. Not a well-defined character, but at times he can fly, invulnerability, mind control, gravity, magnetism, teleportation, retarding rays, which I obviously got hit by at some point in my life.
Dude, me too.
And even necromancy, which added as Hanks need them from story to story. What really distinguishes this character, and I'm going to talk just briefly about this in a second, is there's really a lot of brutality for the age here. So he would shrink criminals into nothing, freeze them for an eternity, or maroon them alone on distant planets to die slowly over decades.
Yep.
Which was considered genuinely sadistic for a hero and a man of reason. The strip needs more disturbing than what we see today. So Stardust runs for 16 issues of Fantastic Comics plus 1 appearance in Big 3, number 2, which is to say his entire career is really Hank's entire career. And I didn't know this until I was doing this story, but after 1941, Hanks vanished from the industry, even vanished from his family. His family didn't know where he was until he was found frozen to death on a New York City park bench in 1976.
Yeah.
So a very short career of only a couple of years. And what happened was he was rediscovered in around the 2000s. And all of his work got republished into these, large format books. and is considered now one of the greatest science fiction comic creators of our time period. But he only lasted a very short period of time and then completely disappeared.
His son became an admiral or something really high up. I believe it's an admiral. And he credited his dad not being there for him being able to become that.
Wow.
So he was not well thought of by his family. He was basically a guy that once he left, they were kind of happy he left. And apparently he didn't really deal with that till much later on. He did a lot of graphic work, and then he wound up, I believe, doing the bulk of his years at the post office.
Yeah, I couldn't find a whole lot on him at all when I was trying to come up with a biography.
So I read a couple of the issues of Fantastic Comics in prep for the show, and these definitely these again, they were anthologies, so there's a Stardust in each of them. This style is very distinct. It's really tight. The pacing's good. I actually, this was for me one of the standouts, and this splash page is from this book, right? This is the first splash page from Fantastic Comics #1.
Right.
But Fantastic 3, which is one of the books we'll feature later, and is the best known from that run, also has a Stardust story in it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the chat. Knocking Futz is here, who I hadn't said hi to yet. Angie23, welcome to the show.
Covers. The next slide is covers, and you keep saying hi. Oh, no, it's not. Damn it. I'm sorry.
And that's okay. Angie, this is our show for Golden Age, but I am looking forward to Brand New Day. I don't want to spend a lot of time on talking about it here, but I think it seems like it's got the feel of the most sort of authentic Silver Age Spider-Man we've seen yet. But
silver and bronze.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Angie, by the way, welcome to the show, and feel free to chat. I'm sure other people have thoughts on it. I just don't want to spend a lot of airtime on it.
100%.
Go ahead, Shelb.
All right, really quick, because we're down to the last little bits here. Samson, so Paul has shown it a couple of times. Fantastic Comics #1. He is basically the cover feature throughout the run. Art by Alex Bloom, who credited for some reason as Alex Boone instead of Bloom. And the writer is believed to be Will Eisner as an uncredited. His origin wasn't told at first. It was later in the title run. What?
Not only is it not told, but the pacing is such. He just shows up, and you get no indication of how did he know there was even shenanigans going on. How does he even know who the bad guys are? He just shows up and starts trouncing them in the middle of there's backstory setting up like a plot, and then you don't know how he even was informed of the plot. He just shows up.
Hi, everybody. Here I am. Yeah, it's pretty loony. I gotta admit that you cracked me up because I'd forgotten about how ridiculous that was.
Also, his kryptonite is a pair of scissors, just for the record.
Yeah.
And Lord forbid somebody be running with them.
Yeah. So if you don't know the Bible story of Samson, had a girlfriend named Delilah. Anyway, but this Samson is a direct descendant of the biblical Samson. He doesn't find this out until he's an adult and from his mother, but he's spurred into action by his college friend's invention, an iconoscope that picks up an image of a holy man praying for someone to fight evil. And it's kind of like a running thing. His hair gets cut, he loses his powers, but it grows back super fast. So usually by the end of the comic book, it's grown back enough where he has his powers back. In #10, he picks up a sidekick, David, another biblical reference.
Really good with the slingshot, by the way.
So he, like I said before, he ran the entire run of Fantastic Comics, 23 issues. He did get his own title, only 6 issues. And then in issue 6 is retitled Captain Arrow. He was also in the Big 3 anthology along with Blue Beetle and the Flame. And now the next slide should have all the Fantastic Comics.
Yeah. And
Wow.
there's some great ones in here.
Some great covers, and I have seen these around, which speaks to the popularity of the character. Probably a larger print run. And
100%.
Yeah, the later ones especially are books you can find.
Yeah.
And number 3 is the big standout. We're going to talk about that after the break here. So,
all right, so there's the 6 issues of Samson. And nowhere else to put it because there's no real origin or character. But based on the launch of All-Star Comics in 1940, teaming up the Justice Society, and then World's Finest, where they teamed up Batman, Superman, and Robin for the World's Fair, Fox copied that and put out a comic known as the Big 3, which put together the Beetle, the Samson, and the Flash. And if you look at Big 3 #1, it is a direct swipe of World's Finest, the World's Fair cover.
It's New York World's Fair, the 1940 issue, not the 1939 issue. Yep.
So
fabulous.
yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Dynamo and the Eagle. So this is the second lawsuit. So Dynamo actually debuted as Electro, who was research scientist Jim Andrews caught between 2 gigantic electrodes, as happens during a lab experiment, and comes out not dead, but able to control electricity. He can do force fields, fire bolts from his hands, fly. All of it's rechargeable by sticking his finger into an electric socket. But the name only lasted 1 issue because Marvel had beaten Fox at the newsstands by 2 weeks in Marvel Mystery Comics #4 that had a character called Electro in it, not to be mistaken for Electro from the Spider-Man comics, which is why Marvel could use the name Electro in the Spider-Man comics.
Well, thank God, because who wanted their kids to stick their fingers in electrical sockets? And you know that would happen if he had become a bigger character. So thank God that did not happen.
I mean, I did it anyway. I didn't even know about this.
I did too.
character.
I stuck my tongue once, and I couldn't feel my tongue for 2 days. But, you know, that's stupid shit you do when you're 4. But I'm just saying, you don't want to repeat what we do. Kids, don't listen to us, please.
Rename him the Dynamo.
Yeah, so they changed his name to Dynamo, but what's funny is for the next 4 issues, he still has an E on his chest for Electro, even though they call him Dynamo after that.
Whiteout had not yet been invented.
It has not.
And I guess
It may have,
4
actually. I'm
issues in the
goofing.
can. Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious.
All right, the Eagle, a straight science hero in the same mold as Dynamo. His name is Bill Powers. You know, if you don't have a name like Bill Powers, you're going to become a superhero.
Yep.
But as a young scientist, he discovers anti-gravitation fluid, as you do.
Yeah.
When placed on his specially designed wings, enables him to fly like a bird. That's his origin, but that didn't last long. They changed it. As I told you, it was going to be a recurring theme because in 1941, Captain America came out and Fox rebooted him into a patriotic super soldier for his own title, The Eagle.
Yeah.
And Bill Powers got a new sidekick in that issue called Daredevil Boy Buddy.
Oh, boy.
They enlist in the army and spend the time fighting Nazis and dealing with mind control.
Nazis?
Nazis. You know,
Nazis.
Nazis.
And,
I'm sorry. God
Nazis.
dog it, Captain Larry. I'm sorry. I wasn't on my P's and Q's right now. Nazis. Of course, Nazis.
Nazis.
So the very first issue, they actually had a plot involving Hitler, Goring, and Goebbels. I'd like to see that. So yeah,
Yeah.
you find Eagle #1.
This is for me the other standout title, Science
Oh
Comics.
yeah, for sure.
I love this. I love it.
Well, these
So
are
there's the
fantastic.
entire 8-issue run of Science Comics.
Right.
Again, you know, you're getting to that period. I mean, World War II hadn't even really began, and Fox Comics is like such a blip on the radar.
Yeah.
So
So early, most of them so early.
Yeah, and then the 4 issues of the Eagle, where you can kind of see he's been reformed into that patriotic, even
Yeah.
the title Eagle, you know, and then there's a flag on every cover. You know, his costume slightly changed, but yeah, that's it.
Only 8 issues of Science Comics, Larry. You could have done this instead of.
If you can
Planet.
find them all.
I
No.
have a
I-
low
I-
grade.
I don't think
I'm
I've read
still-
any of these ever in the wild.
No,
I
I've
have a
never
low
seen them in
grade
the wild.
7. I have a low grade 7. It's actually
What?
with Phil right now. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Y'all should see it soon. I hope.
I hope so too.
All right, last but not least, Phantom Lady, who premiered in issue 13. Why? Because she wasn't created by Fox. She debuted in Quality Comics and Police Comics #1, which was first appearance
of Plastic Man.
aforementioned Plastic Man.
By
Yes.
Jack Cole. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Genius.
and Quality Comics, as Paul mentioned, was run by the Eisner and Iger studio. Iger considered himself the owner of Phantom Lady, and when he left Eisner, he licensed her to Fox in 1947. So this is really near the end of the Fox as a company, and that's why it shows up as issue 13, because they actually continued it from a defunct humor title called What a Life that was a Fox property. And I'm sure it probably has something to do with like distribution, where if you end something and then restart it, it's probably going to screw with your distribution numbers. So you add it along to a defunct thing. And of course,
It wasn't that more for postal reasons, Shelby.
it was postal reasons. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, distribution and postal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she had kind of the same setup as what she had over in Quality, except you have probably one of the greatest comic artists in the golden age. Matt Baker was one of the first, maybe only, black artists in mainstream comics, and he slightly redesigned her, deepened the neckline, shortened the skirt, and turned her into the most recognized example of good girl art.
Absolutely.
So
Phenomenal.
the next slide, we'll talk a little bit about the famous number 17. So
Wow, look at that.
17, of course, is probably the most famous cover. It's been
Imagine.
reimagined, thank you, many times in the past several years. Probably best known because it was in the book Seduction of the Innocent. So it wasn't at the Senate hearings, you know. So if you look at the Seduction of the Innocent on the poster, it was in his book with the byline that said sexual stimulation by combining headlights. And if you notice, there's no car on the cover. So it says
Right.
headlights means boobies.
With the sadist dream.
But
With the sadist dream of tying up a woman.
those nipples could put your eye out, though, Shelby.
Those
Let's just be honest.
Freaking
I'm just saying. It's a
Smash
great
it with
cover,
you.
though.
If I'm not mistaken, there's at least one other cover from this run that's also in Sodi. Maybe
Yeah.
it's 23.
I think you're
Um,
right. I think it is 23.
Two other of these. So the Promise collection had super high grade copies of these books, nines and above.
Amazing.
The number 17 was a 9.6. We talked about that back in episode 7. But many of the other issues here were also 9s and above, 9.2s, 9.4s, 9.6s in the Promise
Right.
collection. So I personally really like 16, and but they're
Oh yeah, I
obviously
really
they're all-
like
they're all phenomenal.
that was the one I agree.
They're all beautiful, though. I mean, I have to say, they're all well done.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a little refresher. We'll talk about this number 17 again briefly.
And one thing too, notice during this time in Fox publications, all of their books has that stripe down the left-hand side and has the
Right.
title and marquee, almost like it's the edge of a book. And all of their titles follow that same motif, which I found really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's cool. GW Edit says Bill Black and I did a Phantom Lady Index in 1979, Paragon Publications. That's so cool.
Hey, good
Yeah.
old Bill Black.
cool.
He kept a lot of those characters fresh in our minds by the stories he told in the 80s and 90s.
Well, so this is the other character that ended up at DC. She again the other Fox character that ended up at DC. She, as we mentioned, was not Fox intellectual properties. So that's why she came via the acquisition of Quality properties by DC. So this is another character that was used by our buddy Roy Thomas in All-Star Squadron. That's where I think she was introduced into the main continuity. I don't know what happened with her. I think she gets wiped out during Crisis, and then I don't follow DC continuity after
I
that.
believe they brought her back shortly, but she did not serve a long-term purpose for them.
Yeah.
Which is too bad, because a lot of people think she's fallen under public domain. And if they want to put out anything with her, go right ahead. But I think you're going to be sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
However, 2 other copyrights through DC have been challenged, and it did not go DC's way. So you never know what will happen in any of these cases.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I thought Roy used her pretty reasonably in.
He did. You know what?
In All-Star Squadron. Yeah.
I really came off bad. I love Roy's work. I was just not happy with his stance on Wolverine. But I will tell you this: his work with Scott Shaw on Captain Carrot and the Amazing Zoo Crew was amazing, and it fused all of the funny animals from the 40s and 50s together into a whole new thing that rivaled, the DC universe. So I want to say I really love his stuff, and I think everything he touches, for the most part, has turned to gold.
Yeah. Knucking Futz, I'm sure that the Betty Page quality here is not an accident.
I'm sure. And mentioning, if you don't know it, several of these Golden Age characters made little Easter egg appearances in Crisis when, in some of the splash pages when the Earth was being destroyed. Yes. And so you'll see a lot of these acquired properties that are never used anywhere else as little Easter eggs as the Earths are being destroyed. So
right, 100%.
All right. So, Paul and I were talking earlier today, and such an interesting history. So much more I could have covered, like I've said before, the crime books, the romance books, the jungle books. They did a few funny animal books. But, it was a company that basically didn't have any vision of their own. They just kind of stole the vision of others as they saw it working out. a lot of talent went through the pipeline. Jack Kirby, like we talked about, Joe Simon, also George Tezuka and Matt Baker. You know, none of them stayed, which is a function of showing, you know, that this wasn't a company that people really wanted to hang around with. You know, it touched a lot of the trends that went on through the golden age. And when it came away, only one character outlived the company. That is Blue Beetle that we've kept talking about. 2 bankruptcies and yeah, just a decade really in business. And yeah, that's kind of it. That is Fox Publications.
So that said, only a decade, and even as transient as some of it is, what a decade it was. And we have some insanely cool and valuable books. And so we're going to talk next about what were the grails from Fox and what have been the highest recorded auction results and some of the biggest covers, because again, a lot of it is covers. So before we jump into it, I'll just do what I normally do.
Wonder World #7 jumped out at me when I was copying and pasting. That is such a cool ass cover.
It's one of the best, and again, refined.
It's so great.
Usually in the break between the A block and the B block, we just say hi again to everybody. Thank you for being here, whether you're watching us live or you're going to watch us on demand later. We appreciate you. Please leave us a comment and give us a thumbs up. Tell somebody about the show. We appreciate it. If you want more content like this, we have our conservation show that we alternate weeks with, and we do a lot of golden age content there as well. So hopefully we'll see you around. And with that, I'm going to jump into these auction results, which I had a lot of fun doing, and a little bit of behind the scenes, a little bit of comparison, a little bit of market commentary. And Don Carter, thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you, Don.
As always, one of our stalwart supporters. So we talked about this in episode 7 of this show, Phantom Lady number 17 in the 9.6 from the Promise collection, sold for a cool, well, after you pay your taxes and your shipping, it's $500,000. And
wow,
this is not only the most valuable Fox publication to ever sell. This is actually the most valuable non-Marvel, non-DC comic book ever sold. Period.
Wow.
And it's not even close. Like the next closest is only about half the money that this hammered for in 2021.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Paul's going to get me a Fiesta dress for Christmas.
Yeah, the Fiesta dress really, well, I live in San Antonio, so we're the home of Fiesta. And I have to say that has nothing to do with our culture at all, but it looks so cute and she looks so kitten-esque. It's such a weird picture, right? And I'm sure it's drawn, but such a weird picture.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate the super chat. We're going to get to Suspense 3 in a moment. I'm not going to go into any of the other Phantom Lady books here because we did kind of a deep dive in episode 7. I will say I'm going to cover the next 4 biggest grails from Fox in ascending order. So we're going to start with like the next least valuable. There have actually been 2 more Phantom Ladies that hammered close to $100,000. They were both 9.6s from the Promise collection. So, but again, it's kind of more of the same. So I'm not going to chat about them here. The next one I want to talk about is, this is the big grail, really, in terms of how we think about grails and how we've always thought about them for a long time. I'm going to talk about how that's changing. So Mystery Men #1, as we discussed, its first appearance of Blue Beetle, of Rex Dexter, of The Flame. Help me. I know we just did it.
Flame was Wonder World.
No,
Was
Flame
it
was
Star-
Wonderworld. Yeah.
And so this is similar to Flash Comics 1 or Marvel Comics 1. This is the big anthology that launches many of their biggest heroes, right? Only 28 copies Universal, 12 restored, 43 all grades. And look at the distribution here. You do have 2 copies at 9.0, but only 1 at 9.2, and that's it. That's it.
Wow.
In terms of higher grade copies of this book, it's
Those are really
silly.
high considering how old it is. I mean, I think that's, I don't know. I think that's on par with what other books are, right? I mean, some were printed
in terms of the median
larger
grade, or in
volumes.
terms of the volume. 28. This is a rare book.
It's super rare.
This is about half the number of Action 1, and Action 1 is a pretty rare book, right?
That's amazing. Okay,
this
now
is
you put it in
a
perspective.
quarter.
I apologize.
This is a quarter of the number of Universal copies of Captain America 1 or All-Star 8, right?
So it should be projected, right? Because of that, I think so.
Super. So again, like when we were coming up, the big books were all first appearances and origins. The book you wanted was the first appearance. The next book you wanted was the origin. Right. It was not really a thing when I was a kid to collect cool covers or to collect classic covers or cover art.
Right.
So one would think Mystery Men Comics 1 should be the big grail for Fox. Yep. And it's just not. And it's just not because the cover here is, well, as we said, only one of these characters ended up anywhere other than public domain, and that's Blue Beetle. He's not even a major character at DC. Sorry, fans of the new Blue Beetle 5 or whatever version they're on now. It's just a fact.
but he did get a movie, so we have to give him that.
Yeah, but the movie sucked.
Movie that I never saw.
Freaking sucked. No,
terrible.
Captain Larry, you're right. It fucking sucked.
Terrible movie.
Oh my God.
But I will say this: the person who breathed life into the Blue Beetle, and I'm not sure if you're going to go here, but was Steve Ditko. And I'm considered a major Ditko-phile.
Actually, we talked about it when you stepped away for a moment, Bill, but go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry. I won't go into it. But Ditko really made a huge difference in the...
Totally kept him alive.
Yes.
Yeah, and relevant. And
he also made him part of Watchmen as Night Owl.
Yeah.
Even his ship was the same freaking ship.
No, it's so cool.
Yeah, which is great. And I love Steve. So please continue.
All the more reason why one would think this would be the big grail. But again, it's just not, because for the most part, these books are purchased now for their covers. So now this sale was in 2016. This is the highest graded copy. This is that singular 9.2 that I pointed out. It's the Allentown copy. It hammered for $40,000 back in 2016. It is no doubt quite a bit more expensive than that today, but it is not among the most valuable Fox books. I mean, it is. It's in the top 5, but it's not even close to the most valuable.
It's probably 5, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But it's a great cover.
It's still
not
cool.
A cover that. It's not a cover that really makes me want to open the book. But hey,
from my standpoint, it ought to be worth more.
It should.
I'm not dissing on it in any way. I really like the book. It ought to be worth more. It's just a sign of the current market that cover books like Wonder World Comics #7, and here's the census for this book, 36. So this puts it in line in terms of rarity somewhere around an an All-American 16. Right? Still more rare than Action 1 or Tech 27. But, there are copies around. Median grade here is a 5. There is a 9.6 of this book. And
that's awesome.
That 9.6 has not traded hands publicly as far as I could find it. But here's a 7.5, the Nova Scotia copy, and notice another pedigree copy. This one hammered for 41,000
That seems cheap.
just last year. Yeah. But
Seems cheap.
if this is obviously a great cover, another Lou Fine cover, but you know, there's no first appearance here. There's no origin here. There's nothing particularly special about this book other
Look at
than
that
the cover.
freaking cover. The cover is amazing.
Yeah, the cover and the rarity.
Yeah.
Of course, it helps that it's a pedigree copy, but at this level, when there's so few books, I think whether or not it's a pedigree doesn't have that much influence on the market price, because
I agree.
you only have 25 or 30 copies. You know,
Anyway,
you don't need to have a pedigree to differentiate it. You can say, I've got I've got the 7.5 copy, right?
Yeah, I mean, Nova Scotia is not a high grade pedigree run. Unlike Allentown, which was only 135 comics, all first appearances in all.
Yeah.
Right.
This particular cover, though, again, a Lou Fine, you can just see the line work. You can see the layout, the dynamicism of these covers by Lou Fine, and also just how creepy the villains are.
Oh, I have to admit, the creepiness of the villain sells me on this, and that side skull on the right side, that is just freaking amazing.
It is, and
I just love this.
So,
and this is
the theme.
About it before. Yeah, and we talked about it before. Lou Fine is one of those where less is more, you know, and I think, you know, there's a reason why a lot of these interiors and art looks muddy, is because of the printing process of the day when you shrunk down the artwork, and actually having less detail like Lou Fine does helps in keeping that crispness that you see with
it pushes it forward. No, you're absolutely right. I couldn't agree with you more.
Something else that's interesting, and thank you, Gorilla Production 73. We appreciate you. Another of our stalwart supporters. Thank you so much. You know, this is an era where most often, I won't say most, often, probably most of the pencilers are inking themselves. So many of these Lou Fine covers are Lou Fine inking Lou Fine, and I think that adds to what we're seeing here too. But again, this is going to be a theme. So Mystery Men 3, here's the census, median 40, 37 in the census. So similar to the book we just looked at in terms of rarity. You can find these. It's not like there's 25 of them. But look at this cover. Here's the Mile High copy, hammered in 2021 for just shy of 80 grand. In a 9.6, and what can I say? It looks like I'm not alone in terms of
it's gorgeous. It's fucking gorgeous. Pardon my French.
Knocking Foot skulls do have ears. I'm going to show you some later.
Okay. Oh, sometimes, every now and then.
They can. Now we're getting to the really wacky stuff. Look at this. Wonder Comics 1, Universal 16. This is insane.
What?
Look at the median grade. The median grade for the census for this book is 1.8, people. If you have a 2.0, it's above the median grade for this book.
Yeah. We can actually make money.
They're so rare. It's insane.
Yeah.
And there's a 9.4.
Holy fudge!
This book
for only
hammered
84, but only 84,000. I can't.
No, for real.
That.
And this was just last year.
Dude,
for how rare this book
Dr. Paul, doesn't that seem ridiculous?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
To me, and I don't know about you guys, Captain Larry and Shelby, to me, that's a $250,000 book. If you really think of the heritage and where it comes from and what it is, it's right now prices are ridiculous.
Look at this.
Buyer's market right now.
There's only one,
Yeah,
two.
you're right, Larry.
There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are only 5 copies in the census greater than a 3.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
I mean, it's bananas.
so
And again,
is this the highest one?
this is
Has to be.
tied. There are actually 2 9.4s. This is tied.
Wait, what? How
Yeah,
could that be?
I know it's wild, right?
Does that even make sense? Is it with the new way that they're crediting these books, or
I don't-
was this the old way?
I don't think so. This was not. This was slabbed a little while ago because this is not the newest
Crazy.
label. It did sell
No.
last year for 84,000. This
Creeps me out because isn't that a wonderful book? I
I
think
think
that
it
book
was-
should go for a lot more.
I think it was very well bought, particularly when I show you the next book. I think this book was insanely well bought.
Yeah, because
and-
think about what's in there.
I'll use that as my transition here. So the other big dog in the room here is Fantastic Comics #3. This is another book, only 20 universal in the census. Median grade is a 1.8. I've never seen median grades this low in all the time I've been doing this.
But think about how they're all over 80 years old. So
Yeah,
I mean,
sure,
what would you expect? I mean, to
Well,
be fair, I know what you mean, though.
Yes, but so is All-Star 3, and All-Star 3, the median
Exactly.
grade's a 4.0.
No, you're right. You're right.
There is also 194 of this book, and I'm going to speculate about what I think that's worth. The last 1/8 to sell hammered at $90,000 in 2024, and it had notes. It had a minor amount of glue on the cover, which ordinarily would hold the book back. This book is such a monster, and it has nothing to do with anything other than the Lou Fine cover.
Yep, 100%. But
so-
isn't that beautiful?
Oh, it is stunning. We'll talk
my
about it a little
God.
bit more. But again, to put it in perspective, this book is Samson's first appearance. This book, this is his first appearance. This is a 5.5, and it's worth a fraction of this #3
That's
because
bullshit.
of this Lou Fine cover. People love this cover. So a 1/8 selling for $90,000. I'm gonna ask the chat, who can name the books that sell for more than $90,000 in a 1.8? There aren't many of them.
I can think of two.
Yeah.
I can think of a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat. Batman #1.
That's actually one.
Last hammered for 84,000 in a 1/8. This was last year, June 26th of 2025.
Amazing.
November 21 of 2024, Fantastic 3 hammers for 90 in a 1/8. This book is literally worth more than Batman 1 in a 1/8. And in fact, when you look, I'm gonna give the chat a few minutes to tell me what books are worth more than Fantastic Comics 3 in a 1/8. But what else is crazy about this book is it sells entirely on this cover. There's no first appearances here. There's nothing else going on. As a matter of fact, what else is crazy is that this cover image isn't even in the comic. The Samson story in the comic has nothing to do with robots. It's Samson saving these ships from being dragged away by a magnetic airplane, which is an insurance scam that the owner of the ship set up. And if you look, that's the splash panel there. If you look at the very last panel, it says Samson in the next episode fights a horde of robots. He fights the robots in Fantastic Comics #4. They don't even appear in this book.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the cover of Fantastic Comics #4.
Yeah,
And
this
here's
is
the
amazing.
splash
I can't get
page.
over how good the layouts are. They're
That's true.
amazing.
That's true.
And the first one, oh my God. I need to own that comic now, but I'm sure I can't afford it. But this shit is amazing, right? I mean,
I think it is.
Captain Larry, have you ever
Here's-
laid your hands on a Fantastic comic?
I have not. Not in the wild.
So here's the actual story that cover was supposed to go with. This is the splash from Fantastic Comics #4. And then, if I remember correctly, I don't know if anybody in the chat has guessed. I'm going to reveal now. Oh, we got Aubrey guessing. Yeah, we got a couple guesses. Let's go through the guesses before we do the reveal. The professor says Action 1. That is correct. Knucking Fut says Cap 1 has gone. I'm actually not sure if has done a lot. I'm not sure I know what you mean. Sure, Casper 1 is a joke. Marvel 1 is close, but no Segura. Captain America 1 is close, but also no cigar. Tech 31 is correct. Tech 1 is not correct.
Tech 27.
And did I say 27? Did I misspeak?
No, you said Tech 31.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Tech 27. Oh, yeah, Tech 27. I don't think that's correct, but I could be wrong about that. Superman 1 is also correct. Marvel 1, not correct. Here is the hierarchy from the Seven Figure Club. Action 1, Tech 27, Superman 1, and Fantastic 3, at least in the grade of 1.8, tucks in here above Batman 1, above Marvel Comics 1, above Captain America 1, and above All-Star 8. You can buy all 4 of those books in a 1.8 for less money than Fantastic Comics 3 hammered for. Oh, I think
I remember
lost Bill.
we lost Bill. I
Sorry
saw
about
I'm
that,
here.
Bill.
a Marvel mystery or Marvel Comics at the Collector Summit was a couple of years ago. That was 93,000.
Yeah.
So it's close.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
and that's the asking price, right? And I will say this: markets fluctuate a little bit. There have been copies of Batman 1 Hammer in 1.8 Hammer for more than that, but the current market, the last sale, was actually less than that. Now the question is it possible someone just overpaid for Fantastic 3? Yeah, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, all these books are so rare. It just, who's in the room, who's bidding, what whales are going after it. And, so when I say it's worth more, I mean, next auction could change that, right? The market changes and all kinds of things can happen. I still find it amazing that Fantastic Comics #3, which doesn't have a first appearance, doesn't have an origin, doesn't have any characters that have even survived into the current era without lapsing into public domain.
Yes.
Has a cover hero whose kryptonite is a pair of scissors.
Well,
And
I
is
mean,
still
come
this
on.
valuable.
John Jones was fire. And all you had to do is hold a match up to him, and he'd be like cave.
I'm
He's
just
like, I'm gonna crush
having
you,
fun now. Yeah, I'm just having fun now.
I know.
But it's incredible to me.
Well, no, it is. And what's so funny is Marvel Comics is so hard to find in the #1.
Oh yeah.
And I had a guy at the store about 5 months ago, came in with his wife, and he said, yeah, I had to let mine go for $50,000. And it was a 2.0.
Oh, I would have bought that.
Oh, I would have too, in a heartbeat. I would have sold the fucking house. Pardon my French, but I would have. You know, that seemed like a steal to me, but because it's so rare. The only rare Marvel like adjacent book I would say would be Motion Picture Comics Weekly with Submariner, and it's not really a timely book.
Yeah. So just a few more parallels to draw here, and then we'll let everybody go for the evening. To me, although I love, you've already heard me gush on and on about Lou Fine. I love the cover of Fantastic Comics #3. I think people love the robots. Obviously, Samson and the mace is awesome. For me, I actually prefer National 16. You know, I like the giant skeleton green Nazi holding the ship over his head. I like the composition a little better. I think it's a better cover.
Yep.
This here 4.0, this is another one of the books I wanted to show off. This happens to be my book.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. What
and this
condition?
This is the 4.0 that you're looking at there. Here it is
Oh,
live.
wow. It's so beautiful. Oh my God.
Thank
it's
you.
Great.
Yeah, but a fraction. I mean, we're talking a tiny fraction of the value of what somebody paid for Fantastic Comics #3 in a 1/8. Now, it's not quite as rare a book, but yeah. So you can do this on all kinds of budgets, and I don't know if anybody wants to in the chat or in the room here wants to talk about their favorite Lou Fine covers or compare contrast these. Of course, National here is Quality. It's another Quality publication. Right. Quality is the other company that Lou Fine did a lot of covers for. So he did a lot of covers for Fox, and he did a lot of covers for Quality. And not for nothing, if you cut Uncle Sam's hair, he's still super strong and invulnerable. Just saying. We always touch base with The Golden Age of Comic Books by Richard O'Brien. 40 color plates. If you don't own this book, go get you a copy of it off of eBay. It's inexpensive and it's just a ton of fun, and you will turn the pages until they're dog-eared. There are 2 Fox publications in The Golden Age of Comic Books by Richard O'Brien, and they are these 2 covers right here, 2 Lou Fine covers. Fantastic Comics #3, which we've already talked about quite a bit, and Mystery Men Comics #8, which, look at this Blue Beetle. Have you ever seen Blue Beetle look so badass? And the villains look great. The damsel in distress looks great. The composition of these Lou Fine covers is just incredible. This particular one, by the way, this is a 9.4. This is the Mile High copy, and it's sold at Comic Connect.
Wow.
A ways back. This is actually 2017, if I remember correctly, for 31,000 and some change. This book here, if it's sold more, more recently, would probably have been in those 4 or 5, most valuable Fox books that I showed you earlier.
Wow.
That's it. I thought you guys would enjoy just seeing some of the auction results and comparing and contrasting and talking about the difference between, like, when we were coming up in comic collecting, it was all about first appearance and origin. And now, frankly,
art.
It's about covers, man. I mean, and a lot of that has to do with slabbing. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with slabbing and CGC and the ascendancy of graded books. But and look, I think this book is a cool cover. I mean, this is not a bad cover by any means. Anybody would say this is a great cover, but it's just not at the level of #3. And this is the origin, and this is the first appearance anyway, of not only Samson, but other characters as well. And again, it's a cool cover. It's also a Lou Fine, but it's just not at that same level. And
It's ignored.
again, sells for a fraction, right?
Right.
Good for me. I can pick it up at a discount to what I think
Yep.
it's really ought to be worth. But
Yeah.
anyway, appreciate you guys. I know that was a long show, but I think we covered a lot. I thought we had a lot of fun. I had fun, and there was a lot to talk about. Fox books are cool.
And I want
All
to
right.
say, Shelby, what a wonderful presentation. I
Yeah,
loved
did a great
it.
job.
I
No, it's a good
really
job.
did a great job. And
He always
Captain
does.
Larry, as usual, I love what you had to say about things. And guys, I'm just grateful you guys thought I deserved to be in this conversation tonight because I love you guys. And the show is one of my favorites.
Oh, well, our pleasure. You have a lot to contribute.
Always-
and
always
always
good, Bill.
entertaining. I appreciate it. I think
Thank you,
I
guys.
want to say keep it moist and appreciate the super chat from Dylan, and check him out over at Salesboy Comics. And we already said our other housekeeping stuff, but I'll thank once again this show's sponsors, Jim Collegier, Collecting Cast, on Carter, Gorilla Monkey 3K, You Plucked My Last Comic. Next episode is on Jim Collegier, You Plucked My Last Comic, Collecting Chaos, Don Carter, Archivist Adrift, Salesboy Comics, and Gorilla Monkey 3K. We appreciate you all so much. And until next time, take care of one another.
See you later, everybody.
Good night, folks.